Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be demonstrating and then reviewing one of the shelter kits that I have, and this is in my EDC extension bag. All right, so this is Unigear. All right, it's off of Amazon, and it seems, well, to me, it's the best system that I've found for the best price point. All right, we'll see how long this lasts with me. Beforehand, I just had a tarp, made my own stakes, my own rope and stuff like that. The tarp didn't last too long. So hopefully this one, being of better nylon material, will hopefully last me longer. Also, we're just off the trail here, and I will say talking to a camera out in the world is a very weird feeling, right? It's a lot easier in the garage, I'll tell you that. But let's get into this. So it comes with a carry case. All right, I'm just going to secure this to the tripod real quick. There we go. And comes with the goodies in this pouch. We'll hang that right there. And then we have the actual tarp itself. The size for this tent, I believe, is 10 by 12. All right. I don't know the actual conversions because it gives it all in metric, and I don't know how to convert that well. Math's never been my thing. So, yeah, it's a pretty big tent, or not tent, tarp. Let's bring this back a bit. That'll line up with those trees well. So, one of the reasons why I picked this over other ones is it has a reflective material on the inside. All right. And I don't know how well you can see that, but that shiny bit in there helps reflect that heat, right? Got some vultures flying overhead. But yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I picked it. All right, so let's get into putting this up. So I'm just going to show you the very basic shelter that you can do with this. All right, and it is just straight up a lean-to. All right, so you have protection above you to the back. All right. There's an open front and two open sides when you're doing this. Here in a minute, I'll show you guys some close-ups of some of the features that I like about this as well. But I just want to get this knocked out before I get out of here today. All right? I've been wanting to do this video for a minute, but I haven't had a lot of time to get out and do it. Between work and family, it's kind of a hard thing, you know. Some of you may know, some of you may be on the way to experiencing that. And so let's do one for now, and we'll go from there. So it comes with these adjusters on there already. So it's one thing, so you can stake it down wherever you want. But I'm going to show you one of the things that I like to do with these. All right, when you don't want to do your own paracord, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around the tree and send my tag end through there, and then it's going to choke up around the tree, and then we'll do a tie off knot between the two if I need to. All right, and go from there. So what I did was I just tied my version of a poacher's knot. So what you're doing is just making a loop, a couple twists to the inside of the loop, take it up through the loop and feed it back through the coil, all right? So may call it a fisherman's knot, some other stuff. What I know this as is the poacher's knot, because once you do that piece, you'd feed your line back through, and then you'd be able to run it as a snare, all right? So, and I'll show you guys once we get back home, an up close version of that at the desk. All right, so once we tie our loop in there, right, all we're gonna do, find our center point, which I've already done, and we are going to, close it up a little bit too early, but what we're going to do is we're going to feed through the inside a few times, all right? Got about 3 on that wrap. All right, now what we're going to do is we're gonna find a stake. Pretty simple. Found one, all right? Make sure it has some rigidity. It doesn't need to be the best thing, but that is not what you want. All right, so you don't need something this thick. You absolutely don't. But this was the strongest piece that I found so far, and I'm gonna take and cut off a section. Multi-tool, always rocking it. All right, now since we don't need one that big, what we'll do all right is we'll split it. Now we'll split this one once more. All right, now don't recommend doing what I just did unless you know what you're doing. All right, you know the right pressure. You're not trying to send it all the way down. You're trying to just wedge it in there and then pry. All right, it works best with deader wood than it does green wood. All right, so stick those in there. We'll get one more of these. And bada bing, bada boom, got a third. Because this has a center point and the exterior, all right? So what we're gonna do is get our center again. Bring it up, all right? We're going to send it through. And we're gonna take our toggle, all right? We're gonna sit it in there and let gravity hold it in place. Not much more efficient than that. I know that you guys seen me already stake the ends over there. All I did that for was to make sure I got it as wide as I needed it to be from the get-go, all right? So once I get this adjusted, what I'll do is I'll pull it back and tighten this up, and I'll show you guys that here in a minute. And this is it finished, all right? You should be able to do this in a minute, 2 minutes. If it's a real emergency situation, you would try and knock that down, but that's why you get out there and you play with your gear, all right? Now, from this, you could do all sorts of different configurations, all right? This is just bare bones, lean to, get out of the rain, whatever may need. And like I said, the reason why I got this one is that like Mylar material, it's not actual Mylar, but it's a shiny interior, and so it would reflect that heat back into me. Having a fire out here reflects in there, and I'm able to stay warmer a little bit better, all right? There's other configurations, and I can show you guys that at a later date, do a video on like top 5, top 10 different shelter configurations. I got this one this size because I could make a teepee out of this one if I wanted to. and I can show you guys that. But like I said, this is bare bones basics, and this is more of a review on this tarp. Honestly, from everything that I've dealt with on this one, I really enjoy it. The material that it's made out of seems to be durable. I stepped on it and there was a stick underneath it because I have not cleared out the space because I'm not actually sleeping here, so I haven't taken the time to do that. But it didn't puncture. I've had nylon tarps like you can get for like $5 puncture and leak and all that other stuff, but it's a very good material, and I'll give you guys an up close look here. So you can see it's pretty good nylon. All right, I don't see anything wrong with the material itself. It looks pretty good. The sewing is pretty legit. I like it so far. The thing that I like here is that it has these brass inserts you can use, and also the loops. You can use the loops. All right, if this one would open, there we go. Got you your loops. And honestly, it is an incredible tarp so far. I'm very happy with it. All right, I hope to get this out a lot more now that I'm starting to get a little bit more of a break. I have some time at home. I'm not out of town right now. I've been working out of town for a while now, and so right now I'm back in town, and so hopefully I can get out and do a couple of things after work now. Weather's nice, and I don't have to worry about so much of the rain at the moment. We are in April, and April showers are a thing in Ohio. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, this is not the only way to do a tarp. I'll show you how to cut lengths. I have other systems set up just like this, but this is the actual one that I bought that I did not piece together, and so far I like it. There's a couple things that I would do differently, because there are those tie downs, that yellow rope there, and I had to use 2 to be able to span from that tree to that tree in order to get this there. So now I know that I have to cut me, well, I already have it cut, but pack in a piece of 550 cord that is able to span that like 20 feet that's there. All right, so that's why, and I'll show you guys. Actually, let's just do this. All right, so the Pro Stick knot. All right, what we're doing is, what you need is 2 different sizes. All right, it can work somewhat on the same sizes if you're using 550 cord and 550 cord. If you find it's not doing what it's supposed to do by nature, just find some of the inner strands, pull those out, and you can use them as well. All right, but basically what we're doing is we're taking and feeding through itself a couple of times. All right, see how there's multiple layers right there, and when you pull, it'll tighten down on itself, and you just help it along to where it's like that. Right now, when I want to, I'm able to move it, right? But if I put a load against it, it's not moving anymore. All right, doesn't matter which direction. So that's the importance of this knot. And so when you create a ridge line, all right, putting these on there already, you're able to put a shelter up quicker. All right, when I did my video to show the tarp system that I bought and put up the lean-to style with it, I didn't have that ready. I thought the kit would have a little bit more than what it did, but I am going to be taking this and adding it to that kit now that I know. And so that's the reason why I'm making these up, to where I can create my ridge line and all those things and go from there with it. All right, so what you do is you can add them all in the same area. and you're just doing 3 loops, 1, 2, and a third. And then once you get that in there, just make sure that each time you wrapped it in, that it went to the inside. So your first wrap will be the furthest out, in and in. All right, so with it being waxed, it doesn't always like to do what I needed to do immediately, so you just help it along. So once you have all that done, bada bing, bada boom, got our second one on there. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, now it'll move freely, but once we put the load on there, it'll stay where it needs to stay. All right. Another thing I like, these are aluminum, but they are pretty beefy. I like them a lot so far. They seem to go in the earth pretty well. So far, I'm happy about that. That I'll have to cut, that there's things that I'll have to add to this that they didn't think. They pretty much expected you to put up a ridge line and pin it to the ground kind of thing. And I think it's also for hammock specific cover, but like I said, we're using it for different things. But I will show you in a different video a rope pack, I guess is what it would be called. It's a bunch of different sizes and why that specific size. All right, so your largest one would be like 25, 30 feet, 15, 10, 5s, stuff like that. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions on this tarp, go for it, ask them. I'll leave a description down, or I will leave the item in the description so you can go check it out for yourself. But yeah, so far I'm happy with this. Can't wait to actually get out there and sleep under it, and we'll be back with that review whenever I get a chance to do that one. So, all right, catch you guys in the next one. God bless.